DC is in complete shambles, and ever since they announced the new James Gunn reboot, it has been nothing but massive disasters for them at DC and Warner Brothers. And now, with Aquaman 2 coming out, the last DCEU movie under Zack Snyder, it is causing people to walk out of the test screenings. And this movie doesn't come out until Christmas Day of this year. And that is not a good sign, because if this movie gets massive backlash already, it's going to have a long few months and it's not going to do anything. But then again, who's excited to watch this movie when there's just going to be a massive 2-year reboot right after this, and Aquaman 2 doesn't mean anything to the DC universe moving forward? So they've really dug themselves a big hole at DC, and it's only getting started, because Aquaman 2 caused people to walk out of screenings because they killed a baby. And this is one of many disasters for Aquaman 2. Aquaman 2, it looks like a green screen disaster, just like any Marvel movie you've seen in the last 2 years. And not only that, they have Amber Heard in this movie, and who knows for how long, but in the trailer, she was only in it for a second, if that. It was a blink and you miss moment, and that's Amber Heard's fault. She made herself look terrible, and it's all on her, because she's the one who went and lied to the court and tried to bury Johnny Depp, and that completely backfired, and now everyone hates her and does not want her in this movie. But if Aquaman 2 is a massive disaster, just like the majority of the DCEU movies have been under Zack Snyder, it's just fitting. Even though Aquaman, the original Aquaman that came out in 2018, made over $1.1 billion, it's not that the Zack Snyder verse has been a massive trash shoot. They had Man of Steel, which made quite a bit of money, and then they also had Joker, which made over $1 billion as well. So DC has done pretty good things, but they've also had a ton of movies that have flopped big time, like Wonder Woman 1984, The Suicide Squad, even though those were caught in COVID with the day-and-day release on HBO Max. But they've also had some of the biggest superhero flops of all time, with Shazam 2: Fury of the Gods, The Flash, Blue Beetle was a complete disaster, Birds of Prey was a nightmare, Batman vs. Superman was not good at all, Joss Whedon's Justice League was a nightmare for them. They've had plenty of disasters at the box office. And if Aquaman 2 does not make any money, it's looking like Aquaman 2 is going to have a massive budget, because they've marketed this movie already quite a bit, and there's a lot of green screen CGI in this movie, so it's probably going to cost right around $200 million if I had to take a slight guess. But the Aquaman test screenings have been a massive disaster, and the James Gunn reboot, it's going to have to start very strong if they want to get people back in seats. Ever since they announced the reboot, it just completely killed any momentum that DC had, because The Flash was a massive flop. Shazam 2 was a disaster. Those movies lost hundreds of millions of dollars, and they had no hype around it, because the James Gunn reboot destroyed all of that hype, even though they were pretty bad movies. But James Gunn is going to have to start out with a bang with his new Superman movie, even though it's not with Henry Cavill, and he completely is starting clean. There's no Henry Cavill, there's no Gal Gadot, there's probably not going to be Jason Momoa. That just leaves a bad taste in people's mouths. So James Gunn is going to have to really come through with this new Superman movie without Henry Cavill, and we'll have to see how it does. But DC is a trash shoot, and who knows how long they will be like this. But after Aquaman 2, it's nothing for 2 years, and then you get the first James Gunn superhero movie. But anyway, that's all for me. If you liked the video, hit the like button, comment your guys' thoughts down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.